Welcome back to Moving to Spain. I'm Chin, and today I'm speaking to parents who are weighing a life-changing move for the whole family. If you are looking at the map and wondering whether Spain can truly hold your routines, your hopes, and your kids' needs, the short answer is yes, and the long answer is this episode. Think of Spain as a country built around the idea that daily life happens outdoors and together. Sidewalk cafes are not special treats, but a weekly rhythm. Play spaces are not isolated corners, but stitched into promenades, plazas, and beach walks. That single design choice changes everything for parents. You can plan an early dinner in a shaded terrace and still let the kids run, climb, and make friends in view. You can take a weekend stroll along a seaside path and collect shells without turning it into a major production. The climate in many coastal areas is forgiving enough that jackets become optional most of the year, which lowers the daily friction that families in colder countries know too well. You start to notice that errands feel lighter, because the city invites the family to move as a unit rather than separating adult time and kid time into different boxes. Spain rewards families who slow their pace, walk more, and pick neighborhoods where essentials sit within a short radius. That means your quality of life stops being a once-a-year vacation mood and starts being a Tuesday afternoon reality. In this guide, I will walk you through locations that work for different family types, housing decisions that protect routines, schools and bilingual paths, healthcare setups that respect your peace of mind, weekend activities that do not break the bank, and a timeline that keeps stress low. By the end, you will be able to picture your days, not just your move, and you will know whether this country's rhythm is the right match for your family. When families picture Spain, they often picture sun, sea, and a long promenade where everyone can move without cars dictating the day. That picture is accurate in many Costa del Sol towns and in most coastal cities that keep their waterfronts public and walkable. The question is not only which town is prettiest. The question is which streets will your children actually use? Which routes will you love repeating? And which errands can be walked without turning every outing into logistics? Families with younger kids often prioritize a flat landscape, a long pedestrian path by the water, and clusters of parks within a short walk. Those ingredients transform restless afternoons into simple routines. You finish homework, lace shoes, and within minutes, you are on a path where bikes, scooters, and strollers flow past cafes, kiosks, and little plazas. If you prefer a suburban feel with trees and space, look for neighborhoods that offer a green buffer without isolating you from daily needs. You want a supermarket, a bakery, and a pharmacy that are close enough to keep the car optional. If the sea calls you, remember that living directly on the beach is not the only way to live a beach life. Being a few streets back often halves the noise, trims the rent, and still gives you 60 seconds to sand. Hills charm you, but you remember the stroller years? Choose hillside homes with a flat playground or a school at the base. The daily slope matters more than any single view. Spain is diverse, and there is a version of this balance in many provinces. The winning formula is the same everywhere. Pick a block that unlocks a safe walk, a fresh air habit, and a weekly pattern that children can anticipate with joy. If those three click, the town will feel like home quickly. The biggest housing mistake families make is falling in love with a picture before testing the street. Spain rewards a try-before-you-buy mindset. Renting first gives you 12 months of truth about noise cycles, summer foot traffic, school runs, and the wind that sneaks through a window frame at night. During that year, treat your neighborhood as a living lab. Walk the block in the morning, afternoon, and late evening. Listen to the echo in inner patios. Open and close the shutters and feel how the house breathes. Ask about cross-ventilation, insulation, and cooling during the hottest weeks. A beautiful apartment that traps humidity will test everyone's patience. A less glamorous flat with a dry breeze and quiet bedrooms will carry your family through seasons with grace. Draw a 5-minute circle around your door and see what fits inside. If you can reach a playground, a bakery, a small grocery, and a cafe within that radius. You possess a little ecosystem that reduces friction. Add a second circle of 15 minutes for school or after-school activities. If you can keep daily commutes to 15 minutes by bus or tram or 20 by bike, your weekdays will feel human. When you tour homes, bring your routine with you and rehearse it on foot. Do the school route at the actual time you will use it and gauge crossings, shade, and traffic. If you work from home, test a video call in the living room with windows open and closed. If noise leaks into your microphone, imagine a term of classes or meetings that ask for apologies. Protect your mornings and your sleep first, your view second. Spain has more good apartments than you think, and fewer apartments that match your exact rhythm. The right choice is the one that disappears into the background while your family's life takes center stage. Spain offers public schools, semi-public concerto schools, and private schools that include both Spanish and international curricula. Each path works for different families. Public and concertado options embed your children in the local language and culture at a cost that respects household budgets. Private international schools can preserve continuity in English or another system while you settle, though demand can be high and tuition varies. The honest timeline is this. If your heart is set on a specific international school, a year of lead time is wise because wait lists are real and entry can differ by grade. Tours are welcomed, but a tour is not a placement and evaluations are normal. If you arrive close to August and September, you will still find solutions. Yet flexibility rises dramatically when you start early. Bilingual progress often surprises families. The first months can be intense for kids who start with limited Spanish, especially in primary years. Support them with patience, set small milestones, and watch how quickly comprehension grows once friendship and play kick in. Many families see kids answering confidently by the end of the first year, when school, neighborhood, and after-school sports reinforce the same language. If your home speaks a language other than Spanish, decide whether school should anchor Spanish or keep English steady while Spanish grows through the city. There is no universal rule. The right choice is the one that advances your long-term plan for education while keeping your child happy to attend. Visit schools in person, stand at the gate at dismissal, and look for a community that matches your values. Ask clear questions about hours taught in English, newcomer support, lunch routines, after-school programs, and realistic commute times from the address you are considering. The school will teach academics. Your block will teach belonging. Choose both with equal care. Spain's healthcare landscape is a relief for families. The public system is robust, and many residents pair it with private insurance for speed and convenience. In practical terms, private plans for families often cost far less than what many of you pay in countries where health cover dominates the budget. The private pathway gives quick pediatric appointments, clear access to specialists, and clinics that are easy to reach from your neighborhood. The public pathway provides the large hospitals for major needs and emergency care without the fear that a single event will derail your finances. Parents who want an extra layer of calm often add a home visit service. Imagine a child with a fever at night and the dread of sitting in a waiting room for hours. A home visit membership sends a medical team to your door to evaluate, reassure, and treat simple issues on the spot, referring you onward only if needed. The value is not only medical. It is the time you do not lose, the sleep you protect, and the confidence your child gains from being cared for in their own bed. When you choose a neighborhood, map your closest pediatric clinic, urgent care, and pharmacy along your daily routes. Learn the words you will need for over-the-counter solutions and keep a family card of known allergies and current medications. If your children are still small, register with a pediatrician quickly so that your first visit is routine and not an emergency. Spain is especially kind to families who prepare calmly rather than improvising under stress. Once healthcare is set up, you stop thinking about it daily, which is exactly the point. Your energy returns to school projects, seaside walks, weekend hikes, and the thousand small joys that brought you here in the first place. Family life in Spain shines on weekends, and the best part is how much of it is either free or gently priced. Coastal towns offer long seafront promenades where you can bike, scoot, and wander for hours, pausing for a sandcastle or a shell hunt. Even inland cities deliver plazas alive with games of kickabout, shaded benches, and cafes that welcome children as part of the landscape rather than an interruption. Many parks and corporate cafe terraces on the edge of the play area, which means you can sit with a coffee while your kids burn off energy within sight. The effect is powerful. Adult time and kid time stop competing and start overlapping naturally. The weather cooperates for most of the year, so you can plan next Saturday without hedging against sudden storms. Choose one anchor for the day and let the rest stay improvised. A picnic becomes a micro-holiday, a market visit turns into an impromptu tasting, and a neighborhood festival surprises you with music and new friends. If you live near the sea, teach ritual rather than spectacle. Collect sea glass, count boats, trace the same stretch of boardwalk until it becomes a memory your kids will carry. If you are in a suburban green pocket, combine a forest path with a playground stop and let routine do the heavy lifting. Spain's real luxury for parents is not a theme park every week. It is a culture where being outside is normal. Children are welcomed in spaces adults enjoy, and a simple plan can fill a day. Keep a small budget aside for ice creams, a carousel ride, or a round of churros on a cool evening, and the rest will flow from the geography you chose. After a month, you will notice that your weekends require less arranging and deliver more joy than back home. Living in a destination many people visit on holiday is a gift and a test. The gift is endless options for entertainment, dining, and day trips. The test is resisting the vacation mindset when you are trying to build a monthly budget. The most effective strategy is to define your treats before the month begins. Decide which dinners out really matter, which attraction your children love enough to repeat, and which purchases are best left for visiting relatives. The beach is always free, parks are always open, and long walks on the promenade are just as magical the 10th time as the first. The quiet costs that sneak up on families tend to be small toys from kiosks, repeated rounds of amusement games, and impulse snacks on every walk. None of this is a crisis alone, but together they distort the budget. Create a family rule for souvenirs and little purchases, and stick to it kindly but firmly. Groceries and home cooking will be your anchor. With markets offering beautiful produce and fish at prices that let you keep restaurants as a pleasure rather than a default. Transport can stay affordable if you pick a neighborhood that favors feet and bikes. A second car is rarely worth it unless your job truly requires it. If you work from home, invest first in a chair, a desk, and a quiet room before spending on anything decorative. The rhythm of a month is simpler than you think. A handful of set routines, 1 or 2 planned treats, a small emergency buffer, and a calendar that respects school nights keep everyone happy. Spain helps by giving you a lifestyle where more joy costs less money. Your job is to protect that truth by choosing habits that feel generous without becoming wasteful. Families thrive on clear steps, so imagine your move as a series of calm, deliberate choices. Start a year ahead if international school is a possibility. Book tours, and gather documents so that enrollment is a conversation rather than a scramble. If public or concertado schools fit your plan, learn the catchment rules for your chosen town and keep housing aligned with the school map. Aim to rent first, unless you already know the street you want to call home. Arrive with a cushion of time to open bank accounts, register with healthcare, and practice your school route before the first bell rings. Create a simple first-month plan. Every afternoon, take the same walk. Every weekend, explore a new park or stretch of waterfront. In the second month, layer in after-school activities that match your child's energy. In the third month, host or join a small gathering with other families, so friendships grow for both kids and adults. Expect moments of wobble and know that they pass faster when routines are steady and sleep is protected. Keep your expectations realistic and your tone kind, and Spain will meet you halfway. This country is generous to families who value time together, fresh air, and a culture that sees children as part of public life. If that sounds like the life you want, start building it now. Pick a block that supports your days. Pick a school that fits your child. Pick a healthcare plan that lets you breathe, and then let the weeks write your story. One morning, you will look up on a sunny promenade, hear your kid laugh with a new friend in 2 languages, and understand that the move stopped being a project and started being your life.